I'm leaving Egypt after 5 years as ambassador. It has been 5 truly remarkable years. And I've seen in Egypt, which went from fear to a society which is full of dialogue and hopes for the future. But I've also seen in Egypt, which has had problems along the way. And more recently, we've seen division, we've seen polarization, and we've seen violence. I don't think that is the true Egypt that I know, and I really, really hope that Egypt one day will overcome this and will be on its way, on its road to a democratic, truly democratic and truly inclusive Egypt. I think that would be very much in line with the history of Egypt and in line of how the young and modern people of Egypt think. There's also one source in Egypt I would like to bring out that I do think is underutilized. I refer, of course, to the women of Egypt. The women are 50% of the population, and I know fantastic women in this country, educated, non-educated, but people with experience, with ideas, with dreams. But when I look at pictures from previous parliaments, from governments, from various high-level meetings, even from business sector, I don't see the women. And there are 2 problems with that. One is, of course, that women's rights are not fully acknowledged all through by all these people. But more importantly, there is also a misuse of resources, because all these women represent tremendous resources in the country. And I truly believe, and I think you also see examples of that from Sweden and from other countries in Europe, that where women are utilized fully, the society also develops in a better way for everybody. Finally, let me also say something about Sweden and Egypt. We have long and solid relations. In fact, they go back to the 14th century. We have been able to establish the first official deal between our 2 countries. In modern times, they include politics, business, culture, the academic world, etc. But I think the one thing that gives me most hope for the future is when I see all these young people traveling to Sweden and working together, Egyptians, young Egyptians and young Swedes, in order to try to understand each other and try to see how can we learn from each other, how can we benefit from each other's experiences. And I see hundreds of these young people being bridges between Egypt and Sweden today. I see that as a future for our countries. Once again, I thank you very, very much for 5 absolutely remarkable years.